Good afternoon. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our Halcyon Pro 2 building management platform. It's really a control platform. Every device in the Halcyon Pro 2 family is wireless, so that means we can target the smart building market for existing buildings rather than brand new ones. And additionally, we also have a service-based platform called Cloud BMS, or Building Management as a Service, if you like, and that is a subscription-based model. And I guess what I'm going to do is start by telling you a little bit of history, because we've been on this journey of developing this system for about 4 years. It all started with an Energy Entrepreneurs Grant in 2014 with a target of saving energy and also delivering productivity improvements for people with circadian lighting. We had a demonstration of circadian lighting in the exhibition area earlier. And I think we were also targeting at that time reduced operational costs. So we already had our eye on a different prize than just lighting control. Because lighting is only one very small piece of the energy puzzle in a building, probably about 20%. So we were also looking at other things such as operational cost savings associated with sending less people to site through implementing of remote emergency lighting tests. Now, I don't know whether you're familiar, but every building in the UK has to be tested 12 times a year. It's usually a guy with a clipboard. He comes in with a little fishtail, turns it on and goes, yep, that LED is still green, tick. And he does that in every commercial building. Now, of course, that's pretty expensive, so we felt there was a better way of dealing with that using wireless devices. Okay, then we moved on to thinking, okay, we're going to launch this as a product, this service that wraps up emergency lighting and energy monitoring and other things. And we started adding in other functions with other wireless devices to cover things like heating, cooling, and ventilation. And then we're very excited just to have launched the version 2 Cloud BMS, which adds advanced mapping, rules, and energy and analytics to the engine. So we can now see and set rules that are business critical. So an example would be if there's a fault in your emergency lighting, you get an email sent directly to your maintenance staff on that specific site. The rules are really the start of our journey. I think we'll be moving on to sort of cognitive buildings at some stage later, but right now that seems to be getting people quite excited. Now, where we are as a business in terms of deploying that product is we're at the trial stage. So we've had probably about 6 or 10 trials with different companies with large estates. Now, clearly they've all talked to us about the things they needed, and it really revolved around being able to be notified of issues. This rules and alerts engine is the key part of it. Nobody wants to sit and look at the graphs that comes off this. There's just far too much data. So what does that look like? Here's a little snapshot of Cloud BMS. And on it, you can see in the center notifications, which is the alerts that have been triggered by applying rules to data. You can see power consumption of all the sites on your system. And you can see mapping and visualization here. On the your left-hand side, we have some drop-down menus. And with that, we can look and drill down into assets and look at individual parameters. We can provide energy reports. We can provide maintenance intelligence on emergency lighting to get you your compliance reports remotely without having to send anybody to site. And additionally, we also have in there Legionella temperature monitoring. So by monitoring the temperature of cold water tanks and calorific storage and the like and taps, you don't have to go and do dip tests. So again, it's kind of a way of cost reducing things. This is what the rules engine looks like. You can get notifications via email, via the web platform, and via SMS. And it's got a very powerful analytics engine there. And there's a vast range of applications we're now going to be adding to this. Okay, this is what it all looks like. The Pro 2 server's in the center, and the wireless devices are all on the bottom there. We've got things like freezer monitors for critical assets to prevent loss of trading, reducing loss of trade there. Cellar monitoring devices such as CO2 and temperature, emergency lighting, as we mentioned, relays, being able to manage power locally as well. And then at the top, you can see the different outputs for the cloud platform. It's got quite a lot of capabilities. If any of you do have buildings who want to save energy in your buildings, please come and talk to me. But they're the kind of things it can do. Everything from lighting control, heating, AC control. And Our idea is we're wrapping monitoring around existing assets. We're not replacing everything, and we're controlling them with wireless devices, which makes a lot of sense. So a little bit look into the future. EBC, IBM's Research Executive Briefing Center at Hursley. Let's kind of look at this case study here. We're looking at the next generation of cognitive buildings there as well with them, which is very exciting. So we've won a few awards in the past, and I think the aim is really a very compelling story to be able to reduce operating costs for buildings, and the benefits are really greatest for lots of small sites such as fast food restaurants and pub chains and things like that. So very exciting times. Thank you.